Kalvin Phillips has set his sights on an England recall after rediscovering his enjoyment of the game at Ipswich. Phillips has struggled for form and game time since his move from Leeds to Manchester City in 2022 and was left out of the England squad for the Euros, admitting it's been a challenging time, both physically and mentally.
Yeah, I'm fine. I've been out training the last few days and I feel good. Don't know if it's maybe a little bit too soon for the weekend. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I feel good. I feel really good, and I feel like with more minutes under my belt and the more I've trained, I'm getting fitter and fitter, and I feel more like my old self. So
it's interesting to feel like more your old self. Was that the main motivation for coming here? What kind of thought process went into coming here, and how are you finding it now? You're at in November, and do you feel like you're, that old self is coming back?
Yeah, the main reason I came to Ipswich was to play as many games as possible, but also to be playing under a manager that has a structure as well, a way of playing football that complements not just me, but when we play well as a team as well. And I feel like I fell in love with Ipswich's story from League One to Championship, and it was just more about, obviously I've not played much in the last 18 months, but I felt like this was a team that I was just instantly attracted to, because I was watching them quite a lot last year when they was fighting against Leeds for promotion, and obviously Leaf's a good friend of mine as well, so and I knew a lot about the club at that time, and it was a decision that I wanted to make to maybe get out of the eye line of media and stuff so much, and just focus on playing football and focus on my family as well. So yeah.
How did you find it during those times? You talk about that spotlight and getting back to your old self. Is that fair to assume then you were some way off what you're capable of, and what were the reasons, do you think, for that?
Yeah, I think as I was at City, you can train with the best players every single day, but if you're not actually playing football, then it's difficult to be fit, it's difficult to be confident, and when there's times where you feel like you could play and maybe the manager chooses to go a different route, it does hurt a little bit, and I feel like the more I wasn't playing, the less confident I got, and the less fitter I got, I just wanted to get that feeling back. I kind of feel like I lost a little bit of fire inside my belly to compete sometimes, but ever since I've come here, it's made me feel like, and even in pre-season, to be fair, I played a lot more minutes in pre-season, and I think that fire in my belly started again, and I just wanted to make the right decision to come and play football and just to be back enjoying what I do.
Because we're talking here about, obviously, a player in yourself that won England's Player of the Year not so long ago, got to a final, complimented by Andrea Pirlo. Things, do you have to remind yourself of some of the good things in your career, those moments in tougher times?
I don't really feel like I'm that way inclined, to be honest. Obviously, I know that I've done well in my past, and when I was at Leeds I did really well, and with England and Euros and stuff, but it's not really, I always put a lot of pressure on me to perform anyway, and I think even since I've been here I've been very demanding of myself, and sometimes it can show me in a bad light, maybe sometimes, and other times it can show me in a good light. So I feel like it's just me being desperate to get back to how I felt before, and just becoming fitter and fitter and just enjoying. And I feel like ever since I've come here, it's been like a weight's lifted off my shoulders, and the manager's helped me a lot in certain situations, which have made me being able to go out and enjoy every day and every game.
Is it difficult to block all that out? Does it have an impact on you?
For me, I'd like to say it doesn't, but I think for everyone it does. I feel like if you read it and it's there, it's going to have an impact, and I'm quite thick-skinned anyway. If somebody could say something to me and I'd laugh it off and try my best to show it, but when you actually can't play, when you're not playing and people are still saying stuff, or maybe negative comments are coming, then it's very hard to show people what you're capable of. And I think that's one thing that I did struggle with, was when I wasn't playing. And then obviously also being part of, it's amazing to say like I was part part of a treble-winning team, and I've won the league twice. But when you're not involved as much as what you'd like to, it kind of doesn't feel the same. Even though it was an amazing time, amazing moment, I kind of feel like, you know, if I'd have played a little bit more, or if I'd have got that chance, then it might have felt like a little bit more special.
What role is Kieran McKenna playing then in helping you to achieve what you want to achieve?
I think one of the main things is I get quite frustrated with myself in certain parts, especially in training. I'm quite hot-headed, and I feel like Kieran's, you know, from the first day he's always told me, like, don't worry about it, you're going to make mistakes. It's part of football. Football's a game of mistakes and a game of things that you do well, and he said as long as you can deal with certain mistakes better than others, then, and I think he's just been pushing me to be not so hard on myself and demanding of myself. Obviously you've got to be demanding in some aspects, but I feel like the route I was going was kind of, maybe I'd make a mistake and then my head would go for the rest of the session or the 10 minutes, and I'd probably lose more doing that than gain anything. So yeah, I think I'm still working on it now, obviously, but
Is there anything you can do to help you with that?
I don't know, maybe just, I don't know, I've thought about speaking to people, I've thought about speaking to psychologists and stuff like that, and to be honest, I've been a person that's kind of not really wanted to do that, but Kieran spoke to me about that, and I'm, you know, just around about getting to do that now, speak to somebody and see if he can, you know, shed any light on why, you know, maybe I'm doing this. But I think it's just part of football. I think, you know, when you come from such a good moment in your career and then don't play for 18 months and you expect everything to be there and back to how it was after 18 months, it's not like that. And, you know, it's a long road and it's a tough period, but, you know, I've enjoyed every single minute of it so far, and I feel like, you know, being here at Ipswich has made me enjoy it even more.
Have you set any personal or team objectives for the season?
I think for me personally, being back with England would be, you know, one of my main objectives. Obviously, I want to play as many games as possible anyway after the last 18 months, but I feel like always been called up back to England's a great feeling, and I feel like, you know, after missing the Euros, the last tournament, which I was devastated about, but I could understand the reason why I did. I think getting back into the England setup would be, you know, a big personal bonus for me, a personal good goal for me. And then as a team, I think we're a really good team. I feel like, you know, when we're on it and when we press the way that we do and the way that we play, I feel like we cause a lot of teams a lot of problems, and it's got a very similar feeling to my first season when Leeds got promoted. I feel like, you know, it was quite different in the way that we played, and it was very intense as well. And I feel that we've got that here, and I feel like, for me, it's just about, you know, enjoying